Here we go with Q&A part 3. Maybe this will. I'm going to try to wrap it up with this one because I really don't want this to go on too much longer. Even though I know everybody's having a blast watching me answer these questions. So Armored Ghost asks, Andy, do you think lookism and the lack of decent looks could turn out to be the real human extinction event? I don't understand the question. Are you asking that people just will not want to choose romantic partners, will not want to get married or procreate because of lookism? Because are you asking, are we approaching a time where, with the state of gynocracy and malignant feminism, toxic feminism or toxic femininity, are you asking, like, are women just going to say no man is good enough for us, no man is good looking enough or rich enough or whatever? I don't see that happening. I think there's still a desire for companionship, and people will still choose mates, but I think the erosion of monogamy is a real tragedy. It's a real tragedy that's going to have long-standing effects. It already has had long-standing effects, particularly on lower status men. It's going to make our society, our culture, much more barbaric, just like it was in the days when the richest men could just assemble a harem of wives and concubines, and poor men got nothing. It's not a recipe for social cohesion. But a human extinction event, no. Scott Terry asks, Dear Andy, have you seen The Joker with Joaquin Phoenix? I've heard of that movie. I really should see it one of these days. I know you're joking. I've seen it a ton of times. How about the new Batman? Scott, I have a video that I did called Degenerate Elites and Angry Orphans, which was my take on the new Batman movie, which I thought was good, though I agree with your take that Batman himself was one of the weaker parts of the story, although not as weak as Catwoman. I thought Catwoman was just meh. Could have done without her totally. But the Riddler was fantastic. I loved the Riddler, and it does seem like in Batman movies, often the villain really has a chance to shine. Maybe that's the case in the comic books too, which I'm not as familiar with. If bad guys are the good guys, is my day in the sun coming soon? I'm tired of being a villain. Yes, your day is coming, Scott. Your day is here. You are an anti-hero, and you should be proud of yourself for that. I'm trying to be one too, but I think it comes much more naturally to you. So that's a good thing. Jason Jones asks, how is the noveling business? Do people still read? Yeah, people still read. Some people even read my work. Some people even read the things that I write. How is the noveling business? It's going all right. It always could go better. Obviously I'm not living the high life off of proceeds, off of revenues, off of profits. But, I've got a certain niche following. And yes, people still do read. Some people. Did you ever watch Tall Man? No, I haven't. Is this something you've recommended to me before? If so, remind me what it is, if you don't mind. Bruce Bogtrotter asks, have you ever tried growing out your beard? I have grown out a beard a few times before. And you know what I think I'm going to do? I think I'm going to, because I've already got some stubble here. I think for all of the month of May, I'm going to grow my beard out. And I don't, this is something I'm doing for you. I'm doing it for you guys, my loyal fans, which I'm sure you all consider yourself to be. My loyal fan base. I'm going to do it for y'all, and I'm doing it for the ladies too, who might be out there, even though we rarely hear from you. But yeah, I like the look of it. I'm not good at that many things, but one thing I'm good at is growing a beard, and so I'm gonna do it, but it'll be a sacrifice because I really don't like the feeling of it. I don't like having a lot of hair on my face. It just annoys me. But for the month of May, I'll grow my beard. I won't shave from here on out until May 31st, and y'all can see what happens, what I start to look like. Armored Ghost. That should be enough to keep you watching, right? Armored Ghost asks, Andy, are you a semi-gym bro? I guess so. I don't really go in for the lifting though. I'm not a lifter, which is why I'm such a low T weakling and wimp. I stick to the cardio, almost exclusively. I don't do much lifting. Okay, but I guess you could say I'm a semi-gym bro, sure. Midnight Rider asks, hey Andy, are you a fan of Clint Eastwood's westerns? No, I've never watched any of them. I know about them. I know the spaghetti western genre. But you know what? I think I if I had been born maybe definitely 10 years earlier, or maybe even 5 years earlier, maybe then I would have gotten, the western would have been in my blood more. But I was born in 1971, and so when I started coming of age imaginatively, it was the time of Star Wars, and sci-fi really replaced the western. And so that became, really more exclusively where my imagination went. But I'm not, I think these are probably some great movies that you're listing off here. And I just haven't seen any of them. Okay, Paul Wright asks, are you Team Johnny Depp or Team Amber Heard? Of course I'm with Johnny Depp. I think Amber Heard is a psycho bitch. And yeah, Depp's testimony has been funny from what I've seen of it. I'm only tangentially paying attention to that whole thing. Paul Wright asks, if the Playboy Mansion's walls could talk, what would they say? They would say, boy, we've seen a lot of degenerate and probably illegal things happen. And it's pretty gross. Somebody shine a black light in here, and you'll see a lot of things that you don't want to see. That's what they would say. All right. Will Putin and Russia make mincemeat poutine out of NATO, the UN, and the NWO? I'm not going to make any predictions there. I think I said that when it happened, when Russia invaded, it was at a particular opportune time when things were ripe for the falling of an old empire and the rising of a new one. So I'm inclined to think that we are on the cusp of a real change. But I don't want to make any concrete predictions. Just don't care to do that. If I were king for just one day, what would be on my itinerary? What could I do if I were king for just one day that I can't already do? Um, I would ask that I be given $1 million, or something like that. Not without stealing from anybody, but just um, since I'm the king, I would say I need this money to live off of, and then I would have that money afterwards to so that I wouldn't have to work a crappy job, and so I could focus on my writing. That's what I'd do. Um, Paul, right? I hate to end on this one because I don't know it. Do you like Lucinda Dickey and Sho Kosugi and Ninja 3 Domination? It's one of my favorites. I don't know it, so I'll just have to take your word for it on that one. All right, and that about does it. So thank you all for your questions. And it had been a little while, but it's good to talk again, and maybe sometime soon we'll have the live cast function again. But I don't really care that much, one way or the other. All right, thanks for watching. Talk to y'all later. Bye.